So lesson 2, changes affect living things. So maybe we're going to talk about us humans, and maybe we're going to talk about animals and other things.
I want to read about this.
Did we? So how do changes affect plants and animals? Plants and animals have adaptations that help them survive in their environments. Zebras have flat teeth for chewing grass. Fish have gills that help them get oxygen from water. What would happen to these living things if their environment suddenly changed? What would happen to a zebra if its habitat became too dry for a long time? A habitat is a living thing's home. What would happen to the living things in a pond if their habitat dried up? So I think we read this too, but it's good to just kind of go back and reread it. So here we have a very important word, which is habitat, right? So looking at this page, again, what is habitat?
Habitat is a living thing's home.
Right. So it's, for example, if this elephant lives in a desert, his habitat is, this desert. So it's just where something lives, okay?
Yeah, like a fish live in a river, ocean, or pond.
Exactly, that's the fish's habitat. Okay, so go ahead and read this, please.
Plants and animals have, so that word is pretty hard.
Adaptations.
What is that?
Okay, so adaptations, I'm gonna highlight this. So plants and animals have adaptations that help them survive in their environment. So these are things that they have in their bodies or that they do, okay? So an example is the flat teeth that zebra have, okay? So this they have so they can chew whatever is around them, right? Because if they had a super sharp teeth and they weren't able to eat meat, then what would be the purpose of those sharp teeth, right? So they need to have things that help them around where they live. Also, fish have gills, so that's their adaptation, right? They have gills so they can breathe in the water. You, with your hands, you do a lot of things. You pick up things, you open, you close, so you use your hands a lot, right? So imagine not having any nails. You would hit yourself and you would cut yourself so much because of how thin your skin is and how much you're touching and doing things, right? So these nails, they're on top of our fingers to protect our fingers from getting hit, right? Or from, getting cut or anything, okay? So it's just protecting the top part of our fingers. But also, it helps us do certain things, right? So if I am trying to get a sticker off of my pen, or if I scratching, all of that, it's also a tool. Okay, so that's our adaptation. That's how we adapt to our environment.
Yes, do you like other plants? Do they have nails, like in a hidden way?
Plants, I don't think they do, right? But all animals have, well, they're not nails, they're claws, right? Because they're much bigger. And so for example, dogs and cats, they use them to scratch themselves, but other animals use them more as a tool, right? So as a way to, for example, tigers or lions, as a way to, almost like little knives,
Yeah, to protect yourself, like having a hand here.
Yeah.
Secure and
right, kind of like that. So it's, that's the way that they adapt themselves to their environment, to their habitat. Okay, go ahead.
So plants and animals have one more. Sorry. Adaptations that help them survive in their environment. Zebras have flat teeth for chewing grass. Fish have gills that help them get oxygen from water. What will happen if living things, if their environment, what would happen to these living things if their environment suddenly change. What will happen to a zebra if its habitat came too dry for a long time? A habitat is a living thing's home. What will happen to a living thing if in the pond if their habitat dry up?
And if this happens for a long time, they can't find water, then they become extinct, right?
It's like dragons.
Right.